Welcome to your Monday Morning Pearl. I'm Steve Keck. Today we're going to continue our conversation on weaponized incompetence. As we said before, weaponizing incompetence is when you intentionally do something poorly so that someone else will stop holding you accountable for it. And so today we're going to focus on what happens when you weaponize the incompetence of your manager so that you can avoid doing the basic things that they've actually asked you to do. This is a common practice that really gets in the way of you growing as a disciplined sales professional. Now, as a manager, I've had this done to me and I've also done it. So I'm going to give you an example of how others had weaponized the incompetence that I brought to the table as a new manager. So often in our first management leadership roles, we really don't know all the nuances we need to know in order to be successful. So we grab hold of the things that we know are working and we just hang on to them for dear life. So this is one of the things I was doing, and I was holding on to things that worked, but I didn't focus on things that would probably make us all better. So for example, I have a low preference for detail. That doesn't mean I'm not good with details. It just means that I have a low preference for it because I don't need a lot of details in order to find my way through a situation. So I can walk into a room, I can hop on a phone and get into a conversation, and I can kind of work my way through it and often find success. So I have a low preference for detail. But what that also means is I then don't feel like I needed to gather a whole bunch of data within the CRM. And so I didn't put a lot of preference as a manager on making sure my people put all their information in the CRM. And what they did was they weaponized my incompetence at the CRM and managing through the CRM to just be bad at putting information into the CRM. And so eventually I ran into a boss that had a real preference for seeing things in the CRM. And she forced me to manage through the CRM. And once I did, I eliminated the weaponized incompetence of my staff. They were no longer keeping things in papers and notebooks and folders everywhere all over their desk. It was now in the CRM and I had perfect access to it, and we all became more effective salespeople. So, are you doing this? Are you exploiting someone's preference for something or someone's inability to understand how to manage through something to avoid doing the work? As a manager, I was actually robbing my staff of some critical skills. But as a salesperson, they were robbing themselves by taking the shortcut. It often inhibited their ability to demonstrate sales excellence when they were interviewing for jobs above them. And that really showed up when they couldn't actually present a lot of details for why they hit goal every month. I want you to think about this. Are you exploiting an area of weakness that your boss is currently carrying in the way they manage you? And so the way to get through that is to actually sit down and take a real hard look at what it's costing you not to develop this skill. As a salesman and a sales leader, I didn't understand how much freedom good data could give me when I was able to not have to worry about what was spoken on the last conversation because it was in my notes. It was right there available for me and I didn't have to find it in a notebook. It also freed me up as a manager to help my staff figure out how to focus on the deals that mattered most because I had good access to their data and I could see things in real time that we could take action on and cut down days or weeks on the closing a deal because I had clarity. It wasn't until I had a boss who refused to allow me the opportunity to weaponize incompetence that I actually learned how to grow and my entire staff thrived. So don't weaponize the incompetence of others. Do the work. Get through the hurdle of you being bad at something until it becomes second nature. When you're going through the process of discovery, learning a new skill, you're always going to be bad at it up front. That's just part of the learning process. No one just hops on a bike and joins the X Games the next day. And if you're a sales leader, think about the areas where you're taking a shortcut or you're allowing your staff to take a shortcut because you are robbing yourself and them of some critical skills. And as always, if weaponized incompetence is a persistent problem in your sales team, reach out to us and let's have a conversation. We can give you the skills and tools to help you break that cycle. So find us on our website or reach us on one of our social channels.